Beautiful people, I am so excited to tell you about this gig that I finally have gotten on here to talk about. It's long overdue, but it's one of my favorite gigs that I have actually done myself for actually over 2 years, and that is Instacart. Now, if you want to learn my tips and all the lessons learned from my experience with Instacart, then you definitely want to stay tuned. The weekends are a great opportunity to earn some extra cash and they're quite lucrative. There are a lot, at least it depends on your area. Let me just be honest with you. It does depend on your area, but typically the weekends have a lot of batches and there's a lot of options because, again, people are preparing for the upcoming week. And when the weather starts getting nice, and even when it's not nice, actually, people don't want to go out and go to the grocery store. When it's nice, they don't want to spend their time at the grocery store. They would rather be doing things outside with their family and with their friends. And so it's a great opportunity for you if you've got a Saturday, a few hours that you want to invest. Well, you can make a few $100s, honestly. So I'll show you some of my earnings from the hours that I put in on the weekends, especially. And I'm telling you, there's some money to be made. Now, some people do this full time and they're pretty much, this is their livelihood. If you aren't looking to do that and you just want to make some extra cash, well, the opportunity is there. And once again, there's some really great perks. Now, let me give you some tips because this is something that, you know, in my experience, it sounds straightforward as far as like you get the batch, you go into the store, you shop, you buy the groceries using, by the way, it's a card that Instacart provides you, so you don't have to use your own money. And then you go and deliver those groceries. Now, there are a lot of nuances, as I talked about before, where you could get in the store and the item that the person wants is not in stock. What do, right? First of all, you reach out. They have a messaging system built within the Instacart app where you can reach out to the customer and inquire about a different item, or perhaps you let them know, see if they want to substitute, or you could totally cancel. I Here's tip number one, pro tip, always find a way to get the item or get a replacement. Why? Because it impacts how much you can make, right? Because you accepted the batch, let's say it was $25 and there were 15 items. This is just an example. And so if you only find 10 of those items, well, that amount, $25, that's going to go down, right? So you want to do everything that you can to either find what they're looking for or work with them to find a replacement. Now, don't take up too much time doing this. Don't overthink this. Why am I telling you this? Is because sometimes people are at work and they are not waiting to hear from their Instacart shopper. Even though they put the order in, they know fully that you are shopping for them. They get notifications. So they are well aware of what's taking place, but they may not be in a position to respond. So keep that in mind, even when you're trying and doing your best to figure out a substitution or let them know, that an item is out of stock. At that point, if you're not able to connect with them, it's okay. Just move on, because the more you get into it, you really want to become more efficient, right? You want to get the most out of your time and you can move on to the next batch, right? So that's tip number one. Just don't overthink it. Don't spend too much time on it. The second thing that I will share, this is something that honestly I wish someone had told me um, before I got like into doing a lot of batches. And it may sound so silly, but park next to a cart collector. You know how in parking lots they have those little spaces where you can drop off your cart? Always park next to one of those. You might be thinking, why? Well, it saves you time, right? In this type of business, you want to be as efficient as possible, and any little thing that can save you an extra minute or two, guess what? It all adds up. So park your car next to one of those cart returners, because one, you can get a cart from there to go in the store and start shopping, or your car there, then go into the store, get a cart. But when you come out, you will unload those groceries in your cart, or you unload the groceries in your car, and then you don't have to walk all around the parking lot looking for a cart return. you can just return it because why? You parked right next to it. So that is a pro tip. I remember when I finally figured that one out, it it seriously, it may sound so small, but it can totally save you time. And again, that is really important when you're doing Instacart. Here is another tip. Instacart actually will encourage you to buy insulated bags, and you should. Absolutely. You don't necessarily have to get the ones that they recommend. You could go on Amazon or Target or wherever you want to shop to buy insulated bags, but it is a nice to have. If you've got some extra money to spend on the bags, I would highly recommend them because, especially when it starts getting warmer, when it's cold, you already have your trunk, your car. It is going to keep those groceries nice and safe. Insulated bags come in handy, especially when it is hot outside. I was shopping Instacart in the South and it would get so hot and humid, and I would get so many comments from my customers. They just appreciate when they see that their groceries were stored in those insulation bags. So if you've got the extra cash to spend, I mean, you could get the bags. I've seen people use coolers even, just an extra, you know, an extra benefit, an extra way to preserve those groceries. Another reason why I think that those are helpful is if you are taking on multiple batches, which they do happen. When you just get started, I would suggest just doing one at a time. But as you get more familiar, you get more comfortable, you could take on two and even three batches at one time, which means you are in the grocery store shopping for three different people, three different houses. Okay. And so, what those bags, those insulated bags, what they can do is help be dividers for you. So, okay, this particular bag is for batch A, this one's for batch B, this one's for batch C. So, it helps to keep things really nicely organized. Even when you're in the store. So, if you were to take those bags in the store and put them in your cart, it helps to keep all of your orders really organized. And again, it's all about efficiency. So, those are just a few tips that I'll share in this video. I don't want it to be too long, but if you want to hear more about my Instacart experience and learn some insider tips, some pro tips, I delivered a ton of groceries. And so I learned a lot of things about the Instacart business, and I made some really good money too, honestly. So if you want to learn more, let me know in the comments. I'll come back and do another video about Instacart and get into some of the nuances, customer reviews, how to save on your gas, how to go about managing your taxes, all of those things, because that's important part of this business as well. Now, if you've made it this far in this video, thank you. We appreciate you. We love you so much because I know your time is valuable and I know that you could have been on anybody's channel anywhere else, but you chose to come here. And I always say, you didn't just come here by accident. This is the exact information that you needed at this time. So I hope and pray that there's something that you got from this video that will help you in your journey to making some extra cash. And don't forget about thinkdifferentdaily.com. That link is also in the description box. I want you to check it out because you can do that and Instacart because TikTok Shop affiliate does not require you to leave your house. You don't need a car. You don't need to drive anywhere. In fact, all you need is your phone and the internet. And I know you have that because that's how you're watching this video right now. And so I explain in my simple 3-step strategy how you can start making money, how you can start smiling at the balance that you see in your bank account at the end of each month. And you can be like me and my clients as well and start waking up to sales notifications on your phone. You guys, it's such a huge blessing. And I will tell you, I never thought it could happen to me. I spent so much time watching other people do it to the point where I started to believe that it wasn't real, that it was a scam. But once I figured it out, I have not turned back. My husband and I, we have been so successful and grateful, so much so that we want to share what we've learned with each and every single one of you. So check that out. Thinkdifferentdaily.com. Say that 3 times fast, right? But until the next one, you guys, bye for now.